Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Help for the Guildless. My name, of course, is Antoine. Now, things have been happening, folks. This is actually a follow-up video. Call it a part 2, if you will, about Unsleeved media and the fact that WotC is going to be burning down around us. I didn't think I was going to be making this video as soon as I have been. I figured, give it about 2 months, 3 months, if things hadn't changed, I'd lift up that rock again and find out what crawled out from underneath it. Well, slap me around and call me Susan. Holy shit, have things hit the fan. So a couple of things have happened that I'm going to go over real quickly. Number one, Christine Sprankle publicly stated to her patrons that the reason she was actually leaving is because she's going back to school. So, as far as I can tell, she owes Jeremy one big, whopping fucking apology. Now, the second part is that 3 articles have come out about this. Now, the first one is from Breitbart, which everyone threw aside, basically laughing at it because Breitbart is such a right-wing, authoritarian, alt-right, neo-Nazi publication, because why not throw as many labels at it as possible? The second article came out from Milo Yiannopoulos' website Dangerous. Now, both of these sites in itself get hundreds of thousands of hits, and as for the Breitbart article being laughable because they said Donald Trump was doing a good job, or they're Trump supporters, because Steve Bannon is one of Trump's best friends, or whatever he is, you have to understand that the CEOs at Hasbro, who are the owners of WotC, are probably old white men that read Breitbart. I wouldn't discount that too quickly. Now, the third and final article that have come out so far is actually from Nichegamer, and it's 29 pages long. It is one of the longest articles I have ever seen, and it is well and thoroughly vetted with tons and tons of citations and examples. And holy shit, is it just filled to the brim with evidence. Now, I'm not going to go through this article. That's not what we're going to be talking about today. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to be going over a few things. These are just some of the updates. I'm going to link all 3 of the articles down below. If you want to go ahead and read them, you can. The one that I suggest you read is the one from Nichegamer. Now, it does not paint Jeremy in the best light. And that's because they're actually very well balanced. They are not just calling out WotC, the Manaleek, or Christine Sprankle, or Hipsters of the Coast. Oh no. They are calling out everyone about the bullshit that has been going on. So, after all this happened, and Jeremy got his lifetime ban, he was a little upset. And to his credit, he's allowed. Now, I don't agree with everything that Jeremy had done going forward. The bully busters, the calling people out for no reason, the continual, and one would say more aggressive shitposting. In my opinion, a lot of that should have been reined in. I understand he's upset, and he has every right to be. But at the same time, there's a reason why he was getting more and more angry. And that has to do with what we're going to be talking about right now. As I said in my last video, and with the last example I gave about the bullies and the 60 people against the 1, they've gotten worse. Now, there are some prime examples, don't get me wrong. So let's talk about the main one. The one who has 10,000 subscribers. The one who basically did a call out for everything to come down on Jeremy. And that's the Manaleek. Now, apparently, things have come out, and the Manaleek's real name is John Winter. This is public information. I am not outing anyone. John Winter is a level 2 judge at WotC. Now, the first video has a lot to do with Jeremy, but there are some important bits. And the first important bit is this, okay? I'm going to read exactly what the Manaleek said, word for word. This guy needs to be stopped. Subscribers need to leave his channel. Stores need to blacklist him. Hateful videos need to be removed. Accounts need to be banned. I personally hope their WotC lawyers do a deep dive into his content, finding any straws they can grasp for slander or libel or defamation of character. Find some unfair copyrighted material usage just to pummel this guy with legal fees. If YouTube can't or won't stop him from producing hateful YouTube videos, then make him financially incapable of producing hateful YouTube videos. If you subscribe to him at some point, unsubscribe from him now. Do not comment on his YouTube videos. Do report every piece of agreement-breaking bullshit he posts, be it on Twitter, YouTube, or wherever. Stop his ability to spread hate before we lose more prominent, positive community members. Like the Manaleek, of course. He considers him one of the bastions of virtue of WotC and Magic the Gathering, even though he's pretty much gone dark. Why did he go dark? Well, because of the Nichegamer article. As soon as Nichegamer found out what he had done and put it, well, right there for everyone to see, he shut down his Twitter accounts, made them private, and basically tried to scrub every horrible comment that he had ever said. Because, you know, being the bastion and pillar of Magic the Gathering's virtue of just honesty and spreading of good cheer, he was a perfect example of what not to be. Now, I understand I'm being very hyperbolic. I get it. I'm being sarcastic. I'm being mean. Antoine, you're going too hard on the Manaleek. As a matter of fact, I'm not going hard enough. The man is an absolute asshole. And the fact that he believes that what he thinks is exactly what a decent person should be, you have to understand something. All of the hateful content that Jeremy produces is subjective. It depends on the person. It depends on the person watching it, depends on the person reading it, depends on the person's personality, depends on the person's sense of humor. You see, when you want to be the person that determines what is good and just in the Magic the Gathering community, what a decent person is, you have to define it. Now, here's the problem with defining what a decent person is. And I'm going to use a simple analogy like I always do, because I know the detractors against Jeremy and the people who think that they are in the moral high ground, they usually do not have the high capacity to understand lengthy examples. So here we go. My idea of a decent human being is someone like Homer Simpson. Homer Simpson is an idiot, but he's honest. He does everything he possibly can to make things better when he messes up. He admits when he makes a mistake. He cares deeply about his family, and he does whatever he can to help his family when they are in need. Now, yes, he makes mistakes along the way. He bumbles around. He may not speak as eloquently as others, but he's reliable, and people enjoy his company, and people like who he is. To me, that's a decent human being, because about 85% of the entire world falls into that category, because no one's perfect. The Manaleek, on the other hand, his idea of a decent person is Ned Flanders. You know, the busybody that's always in everyone else's business, the one that's there to point you in the right direction, quote-unquote. He's always there to say what's good and bad. He's always there to push his own values onto others. That's the Manaleek's version of a decent person. Now, if you do happen to peruse the Nichegamer article, go down to the area that they do talk about the Manaleek and see how honorable and decent a person he really is. And that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about John. Now let's talk about what you're really here to discuss, and that's the attacks that have been happening to Jeremy. And they've been constant. It's already been established by WotC that Jeremy has been held accountable for the people who follow him on Twitter, for the people who subscribe to him on YouTube, and for the people who are his fans. Because as we saw in the evidence that he gave us, that he showed that Wizards gave him, 7 pieces of evidence. 1 of them could have been considered something important. The other 6, 5 of them were other Twitter accounts that Jeremy liked or commented on or retweeted. God forbid. And then the sixth one was him responding to someone with the joke of, I wouldn't even rape you. Which, by the way, the person he responded to understood that it wasn't a rape threat, understood that it was a joke, but that got taken out of context and used as ammunition. Jeremy has been the target of harassment by hundreds of thousands of people on the daily. Now, I don't know if it's gone down, but I do know that it's gotten more serious. Now, I directly messaged Jeremy in hopes of gaining some insight. He didn't respond, but that's fine. I asked him for bits of evidence of some of the harassment. I wasn't being a dick about it. I was basically saying, look, I understand you're being harassed. I'm going to be doing a follow-up video. Can you give me some images of the harassment that I can use as an example? Well, he did one better. His latest Bully Busters video, he actually did a Google document, which had quite a few pictures in it. Now, there are two main offenders. They have gotten worse, and they have gotten aggressive, and they are doing this out in the open. They are not doing it through direct message. They are actually doing this in the open air of Twitter. Now, the first offender is Toxic MTG, or hashtag #EndAltRightMTG. Now, he hasn't posted since the 25th, so I don't know if he actually got suspended or not. I'm hoping he did, because some of the things that he has said to Jeremy have been absolutely horrendous, and to the Magic the Gathering community in general, who don't agree with him. So there's a couple of things. The first one that I want to talk about is this tweet right here. White supremacist alt-right assholes like Jeremy Hambly don't deserve peace, safety, security. They deserve to be driven into hiding, as do any supporters. See, there's no evidence that Jeremy is alt-right. As a matter of fact, if you asked him, he'd say he's a liberal. There's definitely no evidence that he's a white supremacist either. These are just labels that are being thrown around to make it okay to target him, which I will be talking about shortly. Now, another thing that he did that was completely bullshit is he reported Jeremy to the ASPCA for reports of animal abuse, and that he's happy that there's going to be an investigation. That's just low. Now, someone named Justin Troll said, different political opinions doesn't make anyone subhuman. You know that was the Nazi ideal, right? Dehumanization? Well, the wonderfulness of Toxic MTG was subhuman, unworthy of societal protections and rights. Same difference. It'd be hilarious if Jeremy lost his cat and job, don't you think? Well, it's kind of hard for Jeremy to lose his job because he's self-employed. And it's just that this keeps going. Another tweet from him was, Jeremy Hambly is definitely the type of guy to have sexually assaulted someone in college. This stuff is okay by Twitter's standards. And then the kicker, the one that drives me crazy. You have a pretty wife and a cute kitty. Let's hope they stay that way. That's a direct threat. When Justin Troll pointed out that Jeremy isn't a white supremacist or alt-right, and that hate isn't okay, Toxic MTG said, nah, he is. With no evidence, of course. And it's 100% okay to hate Jeremy and want to ruin his life. You know, I got suspended because Twitter took the phrasing, will someone, as me targeting harassment to Chelsea Handler when she accused Donald Trump of setting the fires in Los Angeles. This person is not suspended, is not banned, and they're able to say things like that. When you have people who say things like, I genuinely believe that Magic would be better off if every Jeremy Hambly supporter stopped playing Magic. I have zero respect for them and support their removal by any means people deem necessary. These are direct threats, not just against Jeremy, but against people who think like him. It's not going to get any better, folks. Now, there's one more. There's one more fuckhead that needs to be talked about. And he goes by the name of Darth Malber. Now, it's a big surprise that Darth Malber is actually a follower of the Antifa. Now, Darth Malber, as it would be, is one of the people who has gone after Jeremy's business, but also decided to post an aerial satellite shot of Jeremy's house. Now, I don't have the tweet because I don't know if it was deleted or I couldn't find it, but after he posted the picture of Jeremy's house, he then said something along the lines of, "That looks flammable." I'm paraphrasing, of course, because I don't remember exactly what it was. It was either "that looks flammable" or "no, it looks very flammable." This is also someone who decided to post a video of Jeremy's wife and post something about to the marketing sheriff on Facebook, the owner of the company, Jeremy Hambley, was banned by Wizards of the Coast from attending sanctioned events of the company's games. The reason for the ban was constant sexual harassment of cosplayers employed by Wizards of the Coast and its partners for over a year's time. Beware of this individual and this company. Here's the problem. It wasn't sexual harassment. There is a huge difference between sexual harassment and regular harassment, and none of it is something that Jeremy did, and there's no proof. The professor's video did not have proof of targeted harassment of Christine Sprankle. There's been no proof, no concrete evidence that Jeremy has targeted anyone for harassment. But because of Wedge, because of Sprankle, and because of the professor, Jeremy has had a sustained campaign of torment. Now, I know what detractors are saying right now, and I've been practicing a new voice, so give me a second here, because I really want to use it for them.
But Antoine, there was no proof that it's the Professor and Wedge and Christine's fans that are doing this.
I don't need proof. Do you want to know why I don't need proof? Because Wizards didn't ask for proof. They just took it on face value. So why do I need to have proof? They want to accuse Jeremy of controlling his followers and being responsible for what they say. I can then do the exact same thing. Now, do I expect anything to happen because of this? Because of a video I made or videos that other YouTube creators have made? No. Wizards is going to do whatever the fuck Wizards wants to do, no matter how horrible it is. They have set a dangerous precedent, and now they have a new thought policing campaign going out. They have safe space posters that they're going to be giving to every LGS. You know, the local game stores that WotC has since given a shit about. WotC has not made a stance on what has been going on, and neither has the Professor and neither has Wedge, because as far as they're concerned, the issue has been dropped. Jeremy got banned for life. They don't have anything to do with this anymore. They can go on with their daily lives, except they are the direct reason that this is happening. And again, I can hear the detractors clear as day.
Antoine, they're just giving him a taste of his own medicine.
My God, I kind of sound like Dobby. Forgive me. They're giving him a taste of his own medicine? Is that what you honestly think? Okay, let's take that comparison then, shall we? Because I can guarantee you're fucking wrong. The first thing you want to look at is, what has Jeremy done? Jeremy is a shitposter. He is a troll, a self-admitted troll. He has no problem with shit-talking. He has no problem with making fun of people. He has no problem with very offensive jokes. So then, by that measure, all he should be worried about is people teasing him, people going after him verbally, people telling him what a horrible person he is, people telling him he needs to cut his fucking beard, people telling him whatever. And you know what? I'm sure he can take it. But that's not what they're doing, because it's escalating. I will get to my accusation about Professor and Wedge in just a second. I know that is lingering on your mind as why I think that. I promise, by the time I'm done, you will understand why I said it. So giving him a taste of his own medicine, make jokes about him, laugh at him. But what you don't do is take pictures of his wife and send him tweets that say you have a beautiful wife and a lovely kitty. Let's hope they stay that way. You do not take pictures of his home and post them publicly on the internet. You do not get to post his personal information and then say, I'm just going to put this out there. Whatever anyone does with it is up to them. I'm innocent in this. Because you're not. That's not giving him a taste of his own medicine. What that is doing is escalating a situation dangerously. And I know for the people who, like Darth Mulber, who say, I'm just putting the information out there, I'm not causing any of the problems. The information was publicly available, I'm just leaving it on the table. This is the same Darth Mulber that is following 4 different Antifa accounts. No, he's completely innocent and holds the moral high ground amongst everyone else. Darth Mulber. That excuse does not fly, because what you are doing is just as similar as with a heated situation. You take a loaded gun and put it between 2 people and say, look, I know you guys are fighting, I know you guys are getting violent, I'm just going to leave this gun here. I'm going to walk away, and whatever happens, well, it happens. And this brings me to Wedge and the Professor. Now, to his credit, the Professor made a video. And in his video, he stated, do not harass anyone. No one deserves harassment, especially Jeremy. Leave him alone. He then followed it up with, but this is how horrible of a person he is. Look at how much harassment he has caused. Look how much pain he has caused. Oh, and then I'm going to compare this to the fucking Holocaust. And then we get to Wedge, who, as far as I know, didn't make a video, but proceeded to go on a mini Twitter rant about it. And then after they said their piece, they dropped it. Except their followers didn't. Now, the Professor, as I said to his credit, said don't harass Jeremy, but then proceeded to give an example of why people should target him. Both Wedge and the Professor made Jeremy an okay target because they made him a villain. They made him a person that is evil in the eyes of the ideologues in this new Magic the Gathering safe space community. They haven't said anything since because they want to bury their head in the sand, believing that this is over and done with, believing that it's okay for Jeremy to be the target, as long as it has nothing to do with them. But this does. They made him the enemy. They made him the target by singling him out. They used Christine Sprankle just as much as she used them. They used her as a platform, as a springboard, to promote their own quote-unquote targeted harassment in order to get rid of Jeremy. They think it's a victory. He's banned! A lifetime ban from the DCI! Wedge and the Professor are just as guilty as Jeremy, if we're going by WotC standards, with the precedent that they set. I would have gone about this a completely different way. Am I saying Jeremy is innocent in this? No. As I said, he's a troll. He's a shitlord. He's very abrasive. He could have said things a little bit differently. He could have done things a little bit differently. But that would be him censoring himself, not being himself. He believes wholeheartedly if you're going to put yourself in the public eye, if you're going to amass hundreds of thousands of followers, if you are going to put your opinion in the marketplace of ideas, Jeremy believes, as do I, that you should be able to take any criticism that comes your way, no matter how vile, how abrasive, how disgusting, no matter how turbulent. If you can't deal with it, then turn off your comments, block people. You are a celebrity, whether you like it or not. You have to deal with these things. You are in the public eye. You are a celebrity. Jeremy is promoting the Nichegamer article, even though he knows it makes him look bad. He does not care that he looks bad because he knows what's going on. It's the others. They don't want to be involved. They want to hide. And because they don't want to deal with the bullshit that is coming, WotC is going to have to eventually do something about this. WotC is promoting harassment. I know for a fact you're going, oh, how? They're actively against harassment. They're not doing anything about this. The last thing I'm going to say on what's going on. Brian, Wedge, and Sprankle are responsible for this. They are not just fighting back. They have left this nuclear bomb in Jeremy's lap. Wedge and the Professor, specifically, need to be banned. Darth Malba needs to be banned for life. He is actively doxing someone, and if Wizards is okay with that, then I am not okay with Wizards. I will burn every single D&D book I own, and I will tear apart every single fucking card I own, because they are promoting it by being silent. WotC set a standard by banning Jeremy. And those are my thoughts, folks. I'd love to know yours. Please let me know in the comments. If you like what I do here, please hit like, share, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, hit that little bell icon so you know when I upload. I also have a Discord server if you want to join, and if you'd like to support the channel, there is a link to Patreon down below. Anything you could do would be helpful. And starting next week, Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'd like to announce the revamped versions of the proper villains. Join me, Brockus, and Zellstrike as we discuss, well, pretty much whatever the fuck we want. So with all of that said, thank you very much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Help for the Guildless. My name, of course, is Antoine, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.